Hello everybody, it's Ken Faulkner. Another knife video for you. Be nice to Mike McNeese knives video. So this always makes me nervous. I don't do a lot of these disassemblies things, but I did get, and I kind of hinted around about this, but I didn't specifically say, I don't think, that I was getting a backspacer. It's kind of a rock pattern. I'm going to get it out of here for the Mac 2, and this is going to dress it up a little bit. You know, I was talking about how when I was carrying this one for the Faulkner 5, that when I had it open, it kind of felt like a little rattly. And then I talked about how it has the two standoffs there, and I think that's kind of part of the reason that there's this hanging out piece here that kind of, and it's not bad. And I said that, you know, in the video, but it just a little feeling of it. So I was watching Said Stevie, and he had his Mac 2, and he was, you know, showing it off and stuff like that. And I noticed he's got a backspacer on. I go, what the heck? So yeah, I went on McNeese's website and found this backspacer. And so this, I've already mentioned that this is kind of like a greenish tint with that acid wash sort of look, very cool look to it. And I found they only had one. So I went to look, just to look, and they only had one left. So you know what I did. You know what I did. And I'm not breaking my rule because it's not buying a knife, right? That's not a knife. But the thing about it is, it's 65 bucks. So it could be the price of a knife, a nice budget knife. Look at that rock pattern. It's very cool. And I think the color matches very well. I was a little worried when I say green. I was worried that it was going to be kind of a brightish green, but it has that kind of muted sort of look to it. So I think it's going to look really good. I'm very happy. This is the one that I was waiting for. It was supposed to be here on Friday. It seemed pretty impossible that it was going to not take, you know, that it was going to get here that fast. And of course, it didn't get here on Friday. And I was thinking, oh well, I'm gonna get it while I'm at Blade Show. But it went from Memphis to close by here. Hey Ken, thank you for the support. Have a great day. That's cool. Little note on the back of a McNeese. It's not a sticker. It's like a little McNeese card. That's pretty nice. You know, I think I should. My handwriting, I mean, this is at least legible. My handwriting is so bad, but I should put little notes in my giveaways. I'm a bad knife reviewer that I don't do those notes like that. Some people have these great cards. I've seen that with a couple different channels. So yeah, I really need to up my game, but we'll see. Be nice. Now this one is a sticker. I don't think I had this one from the original purchase. But anyway, there's this major slippery slope when you start buying knives, and this was like a $500 knife, $535. You start buying knives at that price, you think, oh, a $65 backspacer, what a deal, what a bargain. That's so cheap. Whereas a lot of people will not spend $65 on a knife, maybe. So it's kind of a slippery slope, and you start to feel like, you know, that's not very much money. Come on. And if you stop to think about it, yeah, it is. It certainly for some people is, and probably me when I first started collecting, I would have been shocked at the idea. So anyway, we're on it. We're gonna try not to lose screws or anything. I was checking I got this little tool here, and it actually telescopes out, and I've used it to find screws that I lose when I'm taking knives apart. The downside of that right here is that, well, the pivot is steel, and you'd expect that, but these screws are definitely titanium. So I got to be real careful. So I'm going to be real careful. And there is a possibility that we might have to stop, you know, pause this thing in the middle. As long as I got it apart, I'm going to go ahead and clean it up, lube it up, all that stuff. I hope I don't. The action is really starting to feel good now, and I hope I don't screw that up. You know, I've taken apart plenty of knives, and I'm not too worried about it. The action on this is just so. I mean, I normally would not be taking this thing apart because it just drops like nobody's business, and the detent is really coming out really nice right now. So it doesn't need any more lube, really. I'll just put a little dab on there. Got my little doodad, clean it up with. I got my CRKT little stubby screwdriver. It's all T8s. I think this is going to be a pretty easy one. There's only 2 body screws and the pivot. One thing that I learned the hard way, and you probably already know about this though, just because it has a T8 on this side doesn't mean you can turn it. This is actually captive on this side. I already kind of tested it out, pre-tested a little bit just to make sure, but I have tried to force it before and messed up, but it was like on an F and Grow. It was a very inexpensive knife. And I ended up having to cut like a slot on it so I can put a flathead in it. Fortunately, it wasn't a really nice knife like this one is. So we are going to be definitely more careful. So we got that one. That's definitely loosening up. I think I'm not going to really... I was even tempted just to take off these screws back here. I will have to... maybe I can loosen it up. Because I have to take it off from both sides. Because I'm pretty sure that these pin things, the back spacer, and it's turning, so I might have to go grab a little tool to hold on to that. So that's the downside, because the screws go in from either side, and I can kind of see that this thing has some inserts in it. Let's double check that real quick, because it's just, I'm pretty sure that is threaded. Now, another thing about this, they were very clear that it's not for the Model 1 or the version 1, but I do have the V2, so it should be fine and ready to go with this one. So, yeah, if I was just cleaning this thing, I would just take it off from one side, and I wouldn't take off both sets of screws. I've changed out scales before and all that. And it's a different story. And you can clean a knife, but when you're changing out parts, it can be a little bit more involved. Got to be careful about pins falling out. You guys that have done this before, you know what you got to watch out for. I've kind of learned over time. I never lost a part that I couldn't find, fortunately, but I got to knock on wood. Hang on. Knock on wood, because I don't want this to be the first time, certainly. Feels like there might be a little Loctite on there, but not bad. So there's the pivot screw, and we'll go ahead and disassemble, because one thing I don't think I'm going to have to take apart is take off the clip, because I'm not changing out the scales. All I'm doing is putting a backspacer. So, and it doesn't look like that's going to be part of that disassembly. I don't have any of those spudger things, the little plastic things. Really haven't had a need for one, but this one is kind of difficult. This is what they call PM, for precision machines. So it might have some tight tolerances around the pivot here. Hopefully this is not going to be too bad. If I have to, I will pause and use all my swear words while you guys aren't listening. Hopefully that won't be necessary. Okay, let me see if I can find a little something to pry this. It's not going to do damage to it. Hang on. It got really easy. I got this funny looking fork thing from this teriyaki place I went to, where you can have the cheating chopsticks on one side, and it kind of tapers in. So I just kind of put it in and it popped. It popped out real nice and easy. So that's good. So we got that apart. You can see the bearings. We got some washers on here. I'm probably going to try to, got the pin seems to be held in there pretty good. No pin on the back because you just got a hole for the lanyard. We'll take this off. Because, you know, as long as I got a part, I might as well clean off the bearings. And we got this one over here. We're going to take this one. Maybe we don't even have to take off the other side of the pivot. Or maybe we do. Or maybe I won't even bother. I might just cheat a little bit. Because it seems to be pressed in there pretty good. Sometimes they actually will do a press fit. Now this should, the bearing should, oh, there you go. I got the bearing off. That's the important part. And we'll get it cleaned up. So that one's going to go on this side. It's over here on that side. Try to keep it organized as much as possible. I got alcohol. I just got 70%. I know some people go with a higher percentage. You know, I just went cheap with Amazon. Alcohol, and clean that up real quick. Looks pretty clean. Okay, put that down there. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of stuff coming off on the cloth, so that's good. I'll clean the blade. Try not to make this like a really super long video. It looks pretty clean as well. And we'll clean off the washers. Oh, now we're getting something. I must got that off the blade. So it dropped like crazy before. I don't know how well it's going to, if I'm really going to endanger my fingers after this is all cleaned out. If it's got any smoother action, I don't know. Be very careful. All right. Clean around the surface, anything that might contact with the bearings. So yeah, there you go. A little bit of something off of there, made it worthwhile. Let's see if I can get these standoffs apart without like a pair of pliers or something. Oh yeah, it seems like it's gonna come. I think. All right. I'm going to get some pliers. Hang on. All right. Well, I got some needle nose pliers. This is starting to come apart pretty easily now. Just a little something to grab that round surface. There we go. So there's the one. I think this one will come off pretty easy. Let's take that screw off. So I'm too good at like having a screw in there and just kind of saying, oh, I'll just leave it there for a second and then I'll just dump it on the ground somewhere. Definitely too good at that. Okay. So there's the other one. Take these screws out. All right. So here's the little standoffs. 2 of them there. And like I say, it really wasn't a big deal, but I'm hoping that I will get a little bit more of a solid feel. Now I want to make sure that this thing matches up. Looks like it matches up really well. Slightly different colors, which is good. I think that's good. I actually thought this was going to be brighter, but it's almost like maybe a little less bright. I don't know. So we'll go ahead and screw this side in. And these will not, this is a magnetized screwdriver, but it's not going to hold these screws. I know it's kind of cool to have titanium screws, right? But there is a downside. But everything is going good so far. I'm not going to tighten it completely yet. All right, so there we go. We have everything cleaned up. We are going to do a little, I got blue lube. I bought this a long time ago. Like I say, I don't do a lot of disassemblies, and you don't put very much on. Let's see, is there something I want to clean with this guy here? Let's get a little bit of alcohol on that guy, and I don't think I'm going to necessarily clean up the threads, but like in this area here, it would be good to kind of give it a little bit of a cleaning, because the pivot goes through there, so you don't want to have any dirt. And you can see I am getting a little bit something on there. And then this side we've already kind of gone around on, so it should be fine. So you can see a little more, very little, but you know, some knives you get them brand new and you're going to get a bunch of, clean off my finger, a bunch of gunk off of them. But with the higher end knives, not so much. Just got a little on my finger. I'm just going to kind of do it lefty style. Just a tiny little bit on there. Don't really need a lot. There's the one side. We will put the blade back in. I should probably put a little bit of lube in here. Tiniest little drop. And we'll get it in there. We'll kind of work it around. Seems nice and slick. Very nice. But you can see the ramp there. That's that detemp ramp. I think I mentioned that in my video. Look at the flashlight on it. You see that little spot there? There is a ramp where the detent goes onto the blade as it goes towards the detent hole. It ramps onto there to make it nice and smooth. So that's a nice little feature. It's part of the fun of taking apart your knives. You get to see some of this internal stuff. We'll get the other one, the bearing. And we'll get that. Just a little lube, not much. Don't need a lot. Come on. There we go. On there. Clean up a bit. Now, I do have some KPL, but this is the heavy stuff. So, for the detent hole and the track where the detent ball is going to travel, put a little bit of this stuff in. Usually just put a little drop there and then kind of try to track some along the detent. But it's pretty smooth anyway, all throughout there. But it's part of the process, right? Okay, so I think we're ready to put this back together. Everything's going relatively well so far. I got the stop pin is here. So I got to make sure that lines up, and we'll do that with the knife slightly open. And so I got to make sure. I've had experiences when I put something back together and it didn't quite click. Like you hear that click? You really want to make sure that nothing is stopping it from going together as well as it's supposed to. Because then you can end up with a blade that's loose, even when you got the pivot tightened down, and you can't figure out why. I can't get that thread started. Come on, you. God, why is it being so troublesome? Just so you can watch me struggle. Okay, so we got it going. You gotta make sure that the lock bar isn't locked up. I'm expecting that when I tighten this thing up, it's just gonna center up right away. But, you know, some knives you kind of have to do little tricks to get everything centered, but I don't expect that to be a problem here. All the screws are matching up real well with this back spacer. I am super excited. I hope you guys don't mind this kind of video. I know I always used to like them. I remember Bees used to do his all the time. And then I've seen like other people like Lefty. He does it quite a lot. Discerning Man, he does it like every knife. He'll do that disassembly just to clean it up. And that's where you can kind of see some of the dirt that you can get on a brand new knife. It's crazy. Don't want to tighten too much. We're gonna check it. Got a little bit of wobble. Tighten up a little more. Maybe a little bit more. And then we'll check the action. Oh, that sounds good. Feels nice and tight. I think I still got some looseness back here though. And then we'll check the centering. It's so nice when it's all T8s. You don't have to worry about stripping the screw as much. And you don't have to switch out your bits. Look at that. Nice. How's that look? Is it centered? It looks all maybe slightly off. That looks pretty good to me. The flashlight. I don't know. Looks pretty good. Well, I'll just adjust it later if it seems like it needs it, but I think that's pretty good. Wow, that snaps out really good. Actually, maybe I could tighten it just a tad more. It's really like a tuning kind of thing. And then all the lube that's in there, you kind of have to, and it's actually not dropping quite as fast, which I kind of like. And it looks like it's centered. What do you guys think? Looks good to me. I kind of like it's not dropping so fast. Now over time, it probably will drop a little bit more. I wonder if I got anything on the lock bar. It's feeling like a little bit of stick. But I think this is carbidized, so it shouldn't. But I can always get in there with the cloth. Because you don't want to get any oil on the lock surface. I guess I should probably. Feels like it needs to be tightened a little bit more. Oh yeah, wow. Man, it is sticking. Getting a lot of lock stick. All right, well, it's one of those things. This is what I was worried about. Yeah, I'm not going to struggle with this. You hear that little rattling? That's wild. I might have to loosen this up and then retighten it again. Wow. grab another one of those these doodads. Hang on a second. Okay, well, it's like one of those things. My worst fear, right? I'm hoping the lock stick will kind of work itself out. Seems like now we've got our tolerances right. I think that pin was not quite, you know, what I was discussing, that it wasn't quite setting down in the hole. But so now the action seems to be good. There's a little bit of lock stick. We'll see if that goes away over time, because it is titanium on steel. But sometimes that kind of works itself out. Well, we'll see. It's part of the game. I can always send it back to McNeese. I think they're really good about that kind of stuff, if I have to. I mean, it's not locking up any further than it was before. And then there's a couple things you can do to kind of alleviate that. So I'll try some tricks. We'll see what happens. Anyway, sorry guys. It's a little bit of a, you know, it's like all the other channels, they do it and everything's beautiful. Everything's wonderful. But, you know, I think it's just a minor thing. We will see over time. And I will report back. Don't worry about it. Hopefully by tomorrow, next video, it seems like it's already working itself out some. So we'll, oh yeah, that was much better. Yeah, I think it's starting to feel a little bit better. Maybe just a slight difference in the alignment there that, yeah, it's starting to feel better. It is that's the reason why a lot of companies will put that steel lock insert or carbonize the surface. It certainly is feeling better. The action does feel good. It's still dropping, but not quite as fast as it was. And the backspacer looks awesome. So hopefully, yeah, everything will work out. It feels like it's going to. It's just one of those things. We will see. I will let you guys know. All right, that's it. I'm going to stop fretting over it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.